There are times where God is going to instruct you to leave your current situation, and He will require you to go somewhere where you've never been. You don't have a clue how to get there. He's not giving you instructions on how to get there, but He tells you you'll know when you get there. And I want to reference that in scripture to Abraham when He told him to leave his father's house. And again, this may not always be physically, it can be your mindset, it can be in the spirit, it can be emotionally, it can be mentally, it could be a variety of things. So there will be times that God will instruct you to leave that familiar place and just go. His only instruction was to go. He didn't give him direction as to which way to go. And there are times where God is expecting us to just go and trust Him when we don't know where we're going. We don't know what we're looking for. We don't know what we're doing. We don't even have language for the season that we're in. We're just trusting that He says go. And I guarantee, because I just stepped out of one of those times where once you arrive there, you'll know. I just arrived, not worldly arrived, but I just arrived at the place spiritually, and just my mindset for where God was calling me. It didn't make any sense. Normally, I have language for the season that I'm in. I know the season, I know the destination, I know what He's requiring of me, I know what He's expecting from me. But every now and then, gotta flip the script and hit me with the okie doke again, because God is not a formula. So what worked for you in one season may not work for you in this season. I can tell you now, what worked for you in the past is not going to keep working for you in the future. God is always calling us from glory to glory and calling us higher, calling us out of that level of comfort. I was in this funky place. It wasn't an attack, but it was just this funky place. Like, I know I'm supposed to be doing something, but I feel uncertain about what I'm supposed to be doing, but I can only do what I know to do. Lord, I'm going to keep trusting you. This doesn't feel right, but I trust you. I don't know where I'm going, but I trust you. Lord, I don't even know what I'm doing at this point, but I trust you. Something feels different, but I trust you. At the end of the day, basically what you're saying is, Lord, not my will, but let your will be done. Finally, what my season looked like was God having me do all of this stuff that I wasn't producing fruit from the labor that He was giving me to do. And it didn't make any sense. It's like, God, you told me to do my business this way. You told me to take these steps. You told me this was the strategy. This was the blueprint. This was the game plan. But there's no fruit for what it is that I know you clearly told me to do. Basically, God was testing me. He was testing me to see, what is my attitude going to be like when I'm not producing fruit? Will I still show up? Will I still work diligently at what He's calling for me to do? Will I still put my best foot forward? Will I still give it my all? He's checking your attitude. He's checking your heart posture. Are you showing up when you don't want to show up? It's easy to show up and do the work of the Lord when you want to do it. But what about when you don't want to do it? What about when you don't feel like doing it? What about when you're consistent doing your part, but you feel like God is just gone silent on you and He's not doing His part? Will you still show up to be productive when you're not producing fruit? But what about when God looked like He told you to do something and then He just went ghost? God, I don't hear you. I don't see you. I don't feel you. Nothing looks like what you promised me, but I'm still going to go. I still trust you. It was uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie to you. It was very uncomfortable because I knew I was giving it my all and expecting to see results. But God doesn't want you to idolize the results. He doesn't want you to idolize the fruit. He doesn't want you to idolize the blessings. He doesn't want you to get to a place where you only do it because of what you're going to get in return. Will you do this when I don't show you what's in my hand? Well, all of that was a part of my test. You know, my test will look different from yours, just like your test will look different from the next person. But at the end of the day, it still yields the same results, taking you deeper, calling you higher, increasing your faith, increasing your stamina, and just helping you to get through times where the enemy may be doing a whole lot of talking and God is silent and you're not seeing what God said, but you're still consistent with doing what God has called you to do.